teams making their way out, and of course the PUBG Lions, they'll be on a high after a good day for them yesterday. They were victorious in both of their matches. And straight up to the action here. And you can see they're very vocal as well. Looking forward to this one, me and Shazad. Plenty of noise out there early this morning. A bit of dew around the ground, but the sun is shining. There is not a cloud to be seen, and that is a good sign after a couple of cloudy days where the forecast has not been so good. It's the first runs of the day. So Sam putting this out to the offside, to the point area, gets the single. Yeah, you can see that. I mean, if you look at some parts of the ground, especially towards the outfield, you'll see the footsteps of the fielders as this dew starts to literally burn away. If you look around the ground, it's quite sensational. You can see the steam coming off the boundary fence as that dew is being burnt away. Zulfikar plays his first. Twinder Singh. This one's going to be a wide ball down the leg side. Good morning to the team there of the PUBG Lions. They were very upbeat on the way to the ground this morning. Why not? Good performances from them yesterday. While on the other hand, they need to get going, they need to make a start. Samar's looking short, chase on for the fielder. I don't think he's going to get there, and he won't. And that's the first boundary of the day. Cuatro carreras. That's nicely played by Zulfikar. They just need things to happen for them. You saw a shot there off Conrad Greenshields, as he mentioned. Henry Ryan saying that he's a great inclusion for him. I'd agree. He certainly will be the next one in. Twinder Singh just got to get it right to the left-hander's got to go right across him here. And this is up in the air and just dropped short. They think about two, they take him on, and they will get there. Wasn't able to pick this up cleanly. Susil Kumar doing the fielding. Good morning to everybody who's on the YouTube chat. Sam Nick is on there as well. Liam Day, Keanu and Luke Belgium as well. Good morning everybody. And remember, if you're a first timer on the chat, a very warm welcome to you. But tell your friends, tell your family. The more the merrier, as we say. And we certainly do get some good conversation on there as the day and the matches progress. Shot, single, and of course, namaste, salam alaikum, Sasriya Kal, to all of our global family, especially to everybody watching via fan code as well. Interesting day of cricket ahead. Remember, very important day. It's Wednesday, because by the end of the day we'll know which three teams will go into the final, which three will be playing the elimination games, going into Super Thursday. After the question, and the finger goes up. So wicket. Tajinder just strike for the last delivery. Coffee's over, it's full, it's straight, and going to go on to hit the stumps. And congratulations all around. They needed that wicket early, they do get it. So it's going to be 9 for 1 at the end of the first. And see this, it's right up there. And yeah, I think there can't be too many issues with that decision there from one of our men in black out there, Joe Foster. And he'll walk down to square leg now as Asad Ali, the Italian stallion, makes his way to the stumps. Saeed goes for 1 or 3 deliveries. out. Leg before wicket. The bowling of Tajwinder. And that will bring to the crease a man who had a, well, on individual terms, a good day. 44 runs in that match against RBS Crown. And he was really perhaps the only shining light, apart from Amir Zaib, who took that hat-trick. But he's not in the squad today because of an injury issue, so they're going to miss him. I mean, though he did, I suppose he did take that hat-trick, but it all happened once the majority of the damage had already been done by the bat of the champions from Netherlands. Good. Guri, the captain, comes on, takes him on straight away, and that goes to the boundary. 4 runs, so showing intent and aggression. Rico full here, and it's a great pleasure for me to introduce once more Andrew Ryan, who comes into the commentary box.
Morning, Rico. Lovely to be with you here this morning at a wonderful day here at Cuddamore Oval. Haven't we absolutely been blessed with some fantastic weather, and I don't think there's any chance of drizzling rain today. It's a great morning for cricket, and Zulfi Shah, he's a nice inclusion for Marlow today. Actually surprised he's been in and out of the side the last couple of days. Started well, confident shot. And now he'll take the single as well. And, I think early on here, Andrew, with the dew on the ground, you're going to see the fielders maybe not take the ball clean. He's going to slip out a bit. You can see that a lot of work is being done on the ball before it goes back to the bowler. And always an interesting time of day for me, because when that ball goes aerial, it's always going to be difficult, especially taking those catches first up as well. And I think with that sun coming up as well in this clear sky, that also poses another problem. So not the ideal conditions to be fielding first. No, not at all, but Marlow won the toss after Guri called incorrectly, so decided to put themselves in first.
A leave there from the Green Shields. You don't see too many leaves in this format. But well, he backs himself to say, yeah, just going to get me eye in, and well, you wouldn't argue against him. Played well yesterday.
Very patient player, Conrad Greenshields. You'll simply see him do this even in T10 games, that he'll give himself a few balls, just stay relaxed, get his eye in.
Taking him on, and the fielder choosing to let the ball come to him rather than attack. That's Tajwinder, which allows Conrad Greenshields to get off the mark.
An interesting position here today, Rico. Marlow started off with a fairly ordinary performance on day one, and have unfortunately improved over the last 2 games, but still yet to register their first win. But they are getting better. They seem to be at least building some momentum for days 4 and 5.
Slow delivery, but it's not the best of line from the captain. Good practicing, and this has just been worked away down the leg side. No fine leg in place, and it's 4 runs, 4 carreras más, and Zulfikar is looking pretty good out there.
Well, it's one reason why I like his inclusion, and particularly at the top of the order, actually. He's probably got a greater range of shots than a lot of his teammates who have been tried up the top, who really try to force off the front foot as much as possible. He's also giving them the left-right combination, so just making the bowler, particularly the swing bowler, them a different angle to have to work with.
One from the captain, bangs it into the deck, gets it through to the keeper, and that was the end of the second. On 19. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Andrew. You know me, I'm build a partnership. It's certainly just additional worries, if you like, for the opposition. They need to make sure you get the fielders in the right place. The captain's got to be on the ball. The bowlers as well have to keep changing. And the 2 top teams there, RBS high and out, are in second place behind the team that played really well. And that is a lovely shot. Well, he's not going to leave this one. Cracking shot through the covers from Conrad. What a lovely shot, and what a lovely start that is for him. Took the single earlier, but this is what it's about, the boundaries, and that will give him a flood of confidence.
Yeah, he's a class player, Conrad Greenshields. Throws in half a metre outside off stump. See Memoir, he's putting the ball wide of off stump. I assume he's probably trying to look for a little bit of in-swing, but there hasn't been much sideways movement.
And it skids away down that part of the ground. Well, you see Zulfikar, the left-hander, play some nice shots there, ticking them away. With this one, he's nicely played. It wasn't a bad delivery. So he's worked this really well, has Green Shields.
He has. Once again, not trying to thrash over the leg side, just playing the ball on its merits. And while once again, fairly wide of off stump, but not a great deal of movement, so not particularly threatening. It's a bit of a banana skin game for the Punjab Lions. They've got some momentum over days 1 and 2. Talk about them being a bit of a surprise packet in the tournament. But if they lose to Marlow here, then actually their hopes of finishing in the top 3 rest on a bit of a thread.
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, you have a look at, they do have 2 matches today, as do Marlow. But I suppose Marlow would feel that their match, as we see this delivery, goes aerial and he's going for more boundaries, and this one, well, I think it may just go all the way. They're just checking. I'd like to double check, and I think the umpires will. When it does go all the way, it will just drop short. Well, no, it has gone all the way. Manos arriba. Don't be shy, Joe Foster. Put him up. And you see, just catching the rope there, giving it a kiss on the way. Seis carreras.
Cheeky little tickle from the bat of Green Shields. Saw a similar ball to the one that he thrashed through the covers opening delivery this over, but that one he's just opened up the bat face a touch, got the elevation, and lovely shot for a maximum.
Taking him on, there comes the throw. Oh, if this hits, I think it could have been close.
Oh, Green Shields almost lost his footing when going for the single. Fortunately for them, it was Zulfi Shah's end that the throw went to. It's relatively close. Good bit of work from man coming in, Vikram Verma.
Yeah, you can see there, yeah, that would have been out. Good work in the slippery, dewy conditions in the morning. And yeah, you're quite right, Conrad Green Shields, when he gets to the other end, he's certainly not coming back for 2. He was slithering and sliding all over the place. Anwar, can he get it right? It's been an expensive over so far. In the air, oh, it's going to go to the boundary. It was half a chance. And against the fielder there, you've got to go for it. And that was Tiwari. Throws himself at it. And it just drops before him. But, well, it's also gone underneath him to the boundary. 4 more runs, and this over is exactly the sort of over that Marlow needed here.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate, Zulfi Shah pushed hard at a ball that probably wasn't there to play on the front foot. But gets the outside edge of the bat and runs away for 4. It's still a boundary in the scorebook, and Marlow sitting pretty, 38 on the board. Still 1 ball to go in the power play.
Oh, this is going to be ball, full toss. Attempted slow delivery, but he gets it wrong, gets the line wrong, and he's lucky that he only just the one. He bowled it again, but you would have expected the left-hander to put that away.
Zulfi Shah happy to take the extra ball. Noticeable, Rico, very little lateral movement for the opening 3 overs. Punjabi Lions.
Yeah, another wide, I think. Yeah, it will. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, especially if you think about what Kasim Anwar was bowling yesterday. He was having a problem controlling the swing, and yet here today, there's hardly anything. And I think you are right. I think in these early morning conditions with that dew, and also, I mean, cloud-wise as well. No clouds in the sky the last couple of days. Plenty of cloud cover, and there was movement. But clear day today. Bit of dew in the ball, and it's doing nothing. Thinks about the single, and set back by Conrad Green Shields, and wisely too, I think, because when you made a good start like this, you don't want to lose any of these 2 softly. End of the over, and that's a good one. Anwar's wasn't so good. 21 he goes from that one. Goes magical. It's 40 for 1. Good power play.
Good power play from Marlow. Probably the most positive stretch of overs in the tournament so far. And just a little moment there that certainly won't go up in the scorebook, but just shows the advantage of having a player of the maturity and experience of Conrad Green Shields. Could have easily had a run out there if they had have tried to push the quick single, but really loud, strong call of no. It's not going to show up in the scorebook, but just shows what quality he brings to this lineup.
Yeah, you just see there the the power play, and you see that third over did go magical. So they're going to go for Tiwari now and change up a bit of spin. I've got the feeling that Conrad Greenshields is still going to try and take him on. And Liam Day says Conrad Greenshields looks like he's had a good breakfast this morning. Well, it does so far. Maybe he's had his 3 Weetabix. This time, just a cheeky little run taken to the man at third. I mean, they can start to be a little bit more adventurous with the field here. So you've got, is it going to be a similar field to the left-hander? Not so much. I mean, they had 2 sort of in that slip stroke gully position to Greenshields, which was a surprise. More orthodox to the left-hander.
Both long off and long on pretty straight.
Nicely played. It's another single.
So Rico, I think Conrad Greenshields is going to be pretty selective against Tiwari. They've had a good start, but I think he'll bake on Tiwari, giving them 1 or 2 loose ones in this over. Tough for an off spin at a bowl with a slightly moist ball. And suddenly the 4th over, still be a little bit of surface water on the pill. I think he's going to bank on the fact that he might.
And that's the captain Guri there. I don't think you want. He'd be disappointed. Single there. A moment just to play that out once more on the offside, gets a single.
In the 4th over now, it's probably Zulfi who's the man who can fields to bat through to the 8th or the 9th over. If
gone, and Greenshields is utterly disappointed with himself. He thumps himself. He had trouble picking it up when it was on the ground, but he has no trouble. Take patient and wait for the bad ball, but his eyes probably lit up on this one. Went for the big hit, but finds the big man instead. Guri taking the catch, and he's very, very disappointed with himself.
Yeah, nice bit of bowling by Tiwari. Greenshields still got a fair bit of bat on that, but smacked it straight to the skipper, who's taken a sharp catch. And tell you what, when they look back on this game, if they manage to grab a win here, the Punjabi Lions, that could be a big turning point. Greenshields probably disappointed with himself. He wasn't really trying to thrash that over the boundary, just a pressing shot, looking for that gap between long off and deep cover. Fortunately, just got a little bit aerial. Tiwari managed to beat him in flight, popped it up, and sharp catch.
Yeah, I mean, Tiwari is a good performer for the Punjabi Lions, and you can see the champions of Cyprus. We saw him, he took 2 for 9 yesterday against Yekkofu, and he was pretty good in the field as well. Took some good catches, made some outstanding stops, and it's little bits like that, and that catch there, that rubs off on the other players. As we said, nothing going to be easy early on, making these catches and stopping these balls, because this dew, it's still a little wet, and when you do take a catch like that, it certainly does give a little bit of confidence to all the players out there. So they do get a big wicket. Tiwari now to Najam Shahzad, and he gets this one past Guri, but along the deck, takes a single, gets off the mark, and very important that he stays there. We know that he's a dangerous player. And well, it's time for us to say good morning to everybody out there. Hello to our global cricket audience, a global family. Hello there, Rico Full here and Andrew. And Andrew, what do you think? It's a 50-50 start at the moment with that wicket gain?
50-50 start. I think you're right, Rico, but everything felt like it was going to plan for Marlow. They couldn't have really asked for a better start. Zulfikar Shah's brought another dimension to the top of the order. Conrad Greenshields, if he had managed to bat through to the 8th over and just had some hitters come in around him, that would have been a perfect situation. They probably would have been looking at a total of 100, 110.
Yeah.
Now, as it is, they've got Shahzad probably in a bit earlier than they would have liked to. A lot rests on his shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. I think not just I think Zulfikar as well. Zulfikar's got to be saying, right, I've been here, I've got myself in, I've got to maybe think about batting most of the remaining, 6 overs to go. And Najam has to play the big shots. This one, he may just got enough of it. He has, and that's what he's going to do. He goes with the big shots. He hits the ball pretty well. If he gets his zone right and he gets his timing right, he could hurt them here, and he's got plenty of time to do it in.
Well, it looked like he got this right off the middle of the bat, actually. I'm surprised it didn't carry the boundary by a bit further. The fielders out here at long on and quite a straight, deep mid-wicket. They were in the game for a moment, but Shazad starts with a maximum.
Nicely timed as well. Zulfikar does get to the other end. Not the quickest in between the wicket, Zulfikar. I think they may want to target him when they're looking to take these quick singles.
You can always make yourself seem quicker, Rico, by backing up a little bit more aggressively at the non-striker's end. Zulfi sitting back on his heels, particularly in these middle overs when they might have 1 or 2 extra singles around the place. Gotta be ready.
Oh, this goes up in the air a long way, but this is catching territory, and it's been taken so comfortably. What a lovely catch this is, and Zulfikar, he doesn't want to go. He says, can I stay, please? Well, what a great catch that is, and I know who that is. That's one man. There's 2 men out there whose catching has been superb, and Tajwinder Singh is one of them, and the other is the bowler. These 2 are a great partnership. What a good catch that is. Look, I reckon their percentage in taking catches is 100%.
Yeah, they've been really good in the field so far. Probably a little bit less on the ground fielding, but certainly when catches have come their way, the Lions have gobbled them up. I think Zulfi probably feel a little bit unlucky there. Once again, got a good piece of that ball. Suspect maybe there's still a little bit of moisture on the Kookaburra this morning. Ball just not travelling quite as quick, quite as far in the air as would be expected.
Zulfi, who's not travelling very quickly either. It's Zulfikar Shah. He still doesn't want to leave, but he has to go. You can see there, he's so disappointed. He thinks he's done everything right. I mean, the shot was there to play, and he's played it pretty well. But I suppose, a little bit like the shot that Shazad played. You thought it was going to go further than it actually did. At least his one did go over the field at that one. Really good catch, though. He knew his territory. He knew where he was. He knew he couldn't step back. The balance was important. Takes the catch and stays feet inside planted. Doesn't step over the line. Yeah,
we've seen some good outfielding in this Group E so far, Rico. Quite often, particularly on these smaller grounds, the Cardinal sins to sprint in, thinking the ball might drop short, but Singh just stood on the boundary, stayed calm.
One lefty goes, another comes in. It's Umar Farooq, and he gets off the mark straight away.
Well, Umar Farooq, he's opened in the game so far for Marlow. Probably happy not to be facing one of the steaming opening bowlers, giving himself a little bit of a chance to get settled. Hasn't looked too bad, just managed to get out the power play a little bit too regularly for Marlow's liking, so he's been dropped down the order today.
It's well struck, well fielded as well. Irfan Zubin in the strike. Good morning to you, Irfan Zubin. He reckons that 120 is required, otherwise he's pretty confident that the Punjabi Lions of Nicosia will chase them. I mean, 120, I think, in these conditions, I think 100, 105 probably is a good score. I mean, they've got a good bowling attack. And yeah, you get past the 100 mark, I'm sure they've got a good chance, got something to bowl at. As we have a look at that scorecard, Zulfikar Shah, 22 of 12, he didn't want to go, and Connor Greenshields, and 2 batters there, very disappointed to be out in the way they were.
Yeah, very, very. The loss of Greenshields a big one, but they've managed to keep on moving at a reasonable rate. Run rate's almost up at 11 after the first 5 overs, so no, they're still probably pretty happy. 3 wickets down, though. Don't want to lose another one this over.
This one's been thumped up in the air, but look, it's as simple as that. These 2 guys, they make no mistakes, and there's another batter who reluctantly has to make a very slow walk back, and after taking a few steps, he punches himself in the pads with his bat. Tajwinder Singh takes another catch, cool, calm, and collected.
Well, I hope the manufacturers have created those pads with a fair bit of padding. They've had some smashes on them for a couple of disappointed batsmen, and the latest one, Najam Shazad. Once again, probably thought he'd hit that a little bit better than it ended up. That one actually ended up probably a good metre short of the boundary, but 2 catches almost right on the rope the last 2 overs, and now 4 wickets down and starting to get into that lower middle order for Marlow, who haven't been too productive over the tournament so far, and in particular losing Shazad, who was the man that probably could have really given the run rate some acceleration. They needed him there for another couple of overs, but as it turns out, he's back to the sheds, and Punjab Lions probably feeling a lot happier than they were maybe 2 overs ago.
Yeah, there's 3 wickets lost in just a space of 10 runs. So, spot on bother at the moment. I'm going to say that, I'm going to call this, I reckon, obviously you've got the pace off the ball, which doesn't help. But when you've seen some of those shots and the ball not travelling, I reckon that's because the ball's a bit wet.
I agree with you,
Rico. It's a bit heavy. It's not flying off the bat. Ooh, well, I'd stay there if I were you. And it swings and misses at this. Could have been closest.
Pretty good ball from Tawari. He's got figures of 2 for 5 off his 1.2 overs so far. That one just needed to turn a touch more, and Shahid would have been back in the dressing room.
Oh, he's gone right across, but that's probably missing leg stick.
Yeah, sliding down leg side there. Shahid just getting himself a little bit leg side of the ball. Probably could have stepped inside, allowed that one to go through to the keeper.
Yeah, it's very important here that Niam, the captain, bat sensibly. It wasn't a very sensible shot to start off with, where he could have been cleaned up. He's got to think about his team out. He's got to bat deep. He's got to bat all the way through here. Tiwari, he's on fire here at the moment now, and so are the Punjabi Lions of Nicosia. The champions of Cyprus are making all the noise at the moment.
Yeah, they've come back well.
And this one will go the distance. That says carreras. Arriba, arriba, arriba. Manos arriba, Vitro. Porque eso es 6. That was more like it. Plenty of oomph in this one. Heavy ball or not, that was only going one place, and that was over the boundary.
Well, the moisture must have disappeared from that kookaburra pretty quickly. That has been cracked over the boundary, and Umar Farouk, who hasn't shown any inclination to play that shot so far in the tournament. Beautiful stroke.
Yeah, but this is where you have to be smart. You've got your 6. It doesn't mean you have to go wild here. Take the single. Go on, take the single. No, he wants to go for another. It's in the air, and you got to listen to me. Take the single.
Well, Umar Farouk, if only he had the tactical ability of Rico Fall, probably would have just nudged that ball. Last one from Tawari, who'd already taken 2 wickets. He's bowling well, came back like a typical off-spinner. Sees the ball, goes for 6, and just thinks there's an opportunity, and Farouk couldn't resist the temptation. Swings it around, well taken, a deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, this is where you've got to be smart, and goes for another one, and this time I would say that that's Taranjeet. Those two out there, they've just been fantastic. What a team. You've got to have your fielders in the right places, and that's one thing that the Punjabi Lions of Nicosia have done so well, and I'm pretty sure that Richard Cox, their coach, has worked with them relentlessly in the field, because it certainly is showing.
Yeah, after Farouk hit the previous ball over, probably wide of long off, it's surprising that he's tried to fetch one from outside off stump and heave it across to deep mid-wicket. Ball was probably actually in his hitting zone again. We know he's an offside dominant player. Nice bit of bowling from Tawari though. Tossed it up again.
Yeah, gets a single here. So at the 6 over mark, it was 61, but 5 wickets down. Tiwari taken 3 for 11, well bowled. T-spell over.
New batsman, Ali, come out. Hasn't had too much success in the tournament so far, but he's got to stick there with the skipper. They can even ground out a total maybe in the 90 region. Probably give them something to defend. Nicely tucked off his legs though.
Flicks this away. It's a shot that both batters will be able to play with both men on the leg side in front of the bat on the boundary. They've only just got the man on the 45 inside. More noise from the champions of Cyprus. Got him! Clean him up! Boogie Oogie Woogie! Kookaburra fireball! Chocolate day! Hot day!
Well, if that kookaburra still had any moisture on it, Rico, it's soon been rubbed off on leg stump. That's a searing in-swinging Yorker from Singh. Good piece of bowling. And the skipper, Mian Shahid, he hasn't had the happiest of tournaments. There's some word going around that this might be his final tournament for Marlow before retirement. He's had a huge amount of success, but unfortunately not troubling the scorers too much in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really, that's swinging in from off to leg. He hasn't really moved his feet at all. He stayed planted. He's hoping that just iron bat combination alone is going to get him out of trouble. It doesn't. He loses his leg stick. Another wicket goes down, and these wickets are falling frantically here. So another batter comes in. Just have a look at that fall of wickets very quickly. So the first fell at 9, then the second wicket at 44, the third at 52, fourth at 54, and then 61 for 5 and 63 for 6. And no batter really has come in and decided that the best approach is probably just to stick around and try and stay there and bat out the 10 overs and finish with a 20 or 30 score. They're going for glory and getting themselves out. And this one should go to the boundary. It's a short delivery to the left-hander from Karanjit. He holds his head in his hands after he bowls it, and that's nicely put away. Valuable runs. They have found the boundary rope. So it just goes to say sometimes it's not about just power and trying to get it over that boundary rope. It's about placement and timing as well. Wasn't the best of deliveries, but still needed to be put away. Good shot.
Yeah, nice shot from Sawa. Short ball after the beautiful Yorker previous delivery.
That's a line from Charanjit.
Scores really started to stall here, Rico. We'll look at the last 4 overs. From over 3 that went for 21 off Kasim Anwar, the last 4 gone for 5, 9, 7, and now 6 off this one.
It's a nicely timed shot, and if he was in higher up the order, I'd say this guy can bat.
Yeah, we've seen him a few times throughout this tournament. It's the end of the 7th over, and Marlow 68 for 6, so 18 balls left to try to bring themselves up to a defendable score, which might not be defendable depending on how Guri Singh feels this morning, as we see rundown of those that have already qualified for Championship Week. Reminder that's coming up next week here on the European Cricket Network. Tunbridge Wells, they'll certainly be one of the favourites. They were the winners of Group A. And Group B, Brigade, Island, I think they're a real chance for victory next week. But also great to see 2 of the less traditional cricket nations victorious in the last 2 weeks. Brescia Cricket Club, and then the outstanding victory from El Zalmi last week.
Nicely played again. Seems to be reading the situation pretty well, Sawa. He's not going to do anything extravagant, just playing each ball to its merit, taking the singles here, and he's hoping that Ali, and that Saim Ali that is, can do the same.
They've got 17 balls left, Rico. If they get a single off every ball and then also knock in a couple of boundaries, 95 to 100 is still not a big stretch at all.
Oh, well, this one, it will be a dead ball because it goes behind the stumps. So the ball is still a little wet. That was an interesting one. Whoopsie! Well, this one was almost a catchable one for the captain, Guri. Let's have a look at this again. It just literally slipped out of his hands. Oh, there it goes. Where is it? Where is it? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No. It's a kookaburra that's going backwards. Dead ball called. Bowled with the length. Guri attacking.
Yeah, it's a good ball, Tejwinder Singh. Didn't get quite the same movement in his opening over that we have seen from him throughout the tournament, but good job coming on late in this innings. Ability to get it really up in the block hole and against these lower order batsmen. It's a tough ask.
Struck hard, but once again, another catch taken by Guri. This one was a little bit more difficult. He had work to do. Dives forward, takes a really good catch. And, well, what a series he's having at the moment. And what a catch this is. This wasn't easy.
No, really good catch, Rico. The last one was just pinned straight at him. This one, similar sort of direction, but he had to dive forward. Does really well to keep his balance. The arms tucked in, absorbing the contact with the ground. great stuff from the skipper, and isn't he having a golden week so far?
Certainly he is. I mean, he's up for it, isn't he? And he leads the team really well. They respect him. I was saying that on the way this morning to the ground that the Punjabi Lions, they were the happier team, the champions of Cyprus, and they're all around the captain. The captain seems to be the one that instigates things. He seems the one that gives them the good feel-good factor and the confidence, and he's certainly doing it out there in the field as well. I think taking that catch earlier of Conrad Greenshields, that was vital, that was key. I think the team sensed it, and from there on in, they haven't looked back.
Yeah, he manages the squad well. He's got pretty solid field placings, but also I like the management of his bowlers. He uses, in particular, Niraj Tiwari really, really well in those middle overs, and extracted a couple of wickets when they most needed them. Marlow were really in control after the first 3 to 4 overs, but they have reeled them in with a succession of wickets.
Wickets keep falling, and I think in sort of when we've seen those probably 5 wickets that have fallen the last 5, probably only seen just the one boundary in that period, and that was that nice shot played by Sarwar. Sarwar is still there, but at the non-strikers. Oh, he's absolutely done him with a beaut. What a peach of a delivery this is. Gindi Soni bowling. Zabardasti swad aa gaya swere.
Well, Rico, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think the term peach was invented for that delivery. He's probably looking saying, why did I waste this one on a tail-end batsman? Jagged back off the deck, and he had every right to play and miss. That's a super seed. So if we get a replay of that again, I think there'd be some very, very good batsmen in this tournament who wouldn't have laid bat on ball. Amir Ikram, a very inhospitable welcome from Tejwinder Singh. He goes for a first ball duck, and Marlow in some real trouble now.
Yeah, I mean, they are. I mean, that is an absolute glorious ball to bowl to a new batter, and that would have got many a batter out, and many batters better than Ikram, and this is just brilliant bowling. It really is, and I think what that does is we're looking at a hat-trick ball here. So hat-trick delivery coming up, and you can see that the field is in. They want it. They want this. 8 down, 69 on the board. Tejwinder on a hat-trick, bowling to Gondal. Ooh, well, it's going to be a wide, and they're taking on a single, and Sarwar wants to... I'm not sure this is that wide. Sarwar wants to get to the other end, but there's only a ball to go. I would have thought he would have just stayed where he was and then try and get as much strike as he can. I think Sarwar here is looking for... Well, it's got to be a boundary or a single, but that one, it's called a wide. It didn't miss leg stick by that much.
No, not much. Looked like he was trying to fire the Yorker in again. We saw that yesterday, I think. Another hat-trick opportunity where the bowler slid one down the leg side.
Sarwar out on strike. He's got to take the single. He does. They reluctantly go. Ball to go because of the wide delivery. It's not looking so good here at the moment, Marlow. I mean, unless we see something spectacular in the remaining sort of 13 deliveries. It looks like they're going to be defending a score around about 90. If they can get there, that is. Takes a single. So Randall will be on strike again. 73 for 8.
Yeah, conclusion of the 8th over, and things going downhill for Marlow very quickly. Haven't registered a double-figure over of run scoring since the 3rd over of the innings, and we can see that that run rate has just plateaued. Too many wickets, losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the last 5 overs. That's not a recipe for success, and all started to go downhill in that 4th over. Also Conrad Greenshields for 18.
Captain Guri back into the attack. Dot ball, and he was first over, went for 10. And after that, the only over that they managed to go over 10 was that one from Sim Anwar, went for 21. But then, as you say, after that 21 off over number 3, it's just been, well, I'll go through them. The runs per over after that, 5, 9, 7, 7, 5. So it's all been the champions of Cyprus. Goes for it, and the fielder, well, he's made this more complicated than perhaps what it was, but what he needs to do here is try and stop this. And in the end, he's all over the place. You made a reference to one of the bowlers yesterday, a bit like Bambi in the movie getting up. Well, that was a little bit of Bambi about this one.
That wasn't the most elegant bit of fielding we've seen here this week. Tough one on the half volley and the ball spinning towards the boundary. Much needed. 4 for Marlow. It's been a while between balls going to the fence for them. Gondal swinging hard. Got a little bit of luck. He's going to have to continue to do so for the final 10 balls of the innings.
Guri not happy about the fielder's attempt. And this time goes back to pitching. Now, I was surprised that he did bang that one in short, to be honest. Seeing that the first ball he bowled was just pitched up and the batter had difficulty with it. And now you see Sawa, he's trying to do a bit of coaching to Gondal, saying, hey, Gondal, you need to be doing this. And Gondal's looking back at him saying, yeah, the ball move on the air. It's moving too much. What do you want me to do about it? He said, you do know I am number 10. Edge, and he's going to get 4 more. Well, Gondal, doesn't matter how you get him, as long as you get him. And this is so far been one of the most productive overs they've had in a while.
Oh, Gondal, can't say he's not using all of the field. His wagon wheel's probably not going to look too spectacular at the end of this innings, but 2 boundaries, absolute gold dust for Marlow. Just edging their way up towards what will be certainly not a substantial total, but one that if they bowl well, they can put some pressure on this Punjabi Lions batting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to believe, haven't they? They've got to believe that, look, if we can get 90 plus on the board and we bowl really well and we take our catches, there's every opportunity we can get our first win. But the man who's with the ball at the moment, he's the one you've got to get early. Slower delivery, hits this pretty well. It's well fielded as well. So Sawa does get to the other end, and he'll be looking to attack here as well. Good over so far. 9 off it.
Gondal, first man to reach double figures since the number 2 and 3 batsman.
Thank you very much. I thought I left it on the bus. I will.
Seeing one more ball to get through in this 9th over. Still 2 wickets in the hatch for Marlow.
Played, and that'll do. Good finish to the over, sensible. Goes back on strike for the last. 83. 8 wickets down.
Well, it's not what they would have been aiming for after the power play, but they've managed to scrap their way up to at least a passable score. If they can manage to manufacture maybe 10 off this last over, gives them something to work with.
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, just having a look, I mean, I was reading through the over scores, but also from the 4th over up until that, the 8th over, there was also a wicket to fall in each one, and in the 8th, Jadwinder picked up 2. So that's over. Not only have they managed to get good runs from it, 10 off it again from the bowling of Guri, so he's gone for 20, but also no wickets down. So this one is going to be key. It's going to be Kumar to bowl it. And it's a good start from the keeper. But it will be a wide. Mazumda.
Well, if you're Kumar, first over, he's done this a couple of times, come in late to just bowl a single over.
Yeah.
Difficult when you're coming in cold, particularly first game of the day. Don't just let this one go for 16 or 18 and give Marlow a target that would have been
well hit, and this is going towards the boundary. It does. Balle, kinna sona, shaka lagya.
Well, it's been a pretty brave effort from these two. Came in when the score was 69 for 8 wickets down. Still a couple of balls left in the 8th over, and they've had a bit of good fortune with a few edges going to the boundary. But wonderful shot from Sawa.
Yeah, very good partnership, very important. Good reply. He's got to make it his, and you can see there, Sawa saying, I'm going nowhere. 90 on the board, so they have got to the 90s, and I think, as we said earlier, with one or two people were talking about the 120 being a good score. I was saying 100 would be good. Well, this is not good from Kumar. It's always a risk, I think, when this is your plan, when you're using a bowler hasn't bowled before for the last. I mean, even though there probably wouldn't have been too much pressure on him with the score just in the 80s, if you don't get it right, like you've seen there, 80s now is in the 90s. And a few good hits here. You could even still maybe even get to the 100. This one, they will take the single. Sawa reluctantly goes. And the fielder makes no mistake, gets the throw in. So this is where they'll probably be thinking that Gondal may want to just thinking about drop the bat on this and try and get Sawa back on strike. You see Sawa going over to him and having a chat. And I think that's exactly what he's saying. He's saying to him, look, whatever happens here, you've got to get bat on the ball. It can't be a dot here. We're going to go. If you touch it, I'm coming your way. And looking at this field, it's an easy single in every direction. Now, he's going not for singles. He's going for the boundary. It was a filthy. And this over is turning out to be just what Marlow need. The 100 is now on.
We've been part. Didn't have that that man back at long off. Now bought third man. Defensive presence there with Gondal having edged a couple already.
Up in the air, and is it going to get past the fielder? No, it doesn't. And that the good fielding from the champions of Cyprus continue. The catch is taken. I think more important here is a dot ball. They desperately needed a dot ball. So with the ball to go, the score on 96 for 8. Look, they'll look back at these last two overs. 10 from Guri and no wicket. And, well, 13 of this one so far. 23 of those, those last few deliveries. That could come back and haunt the Punjabi Lions of Nicosia.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Rico. There was a 27-run partnership from those two. They really fought hard, took the singles while they were available and managed to scrape together enough boundaries. But good catch down there. We've actually seen some really, really good grabs from players having to run back from the circle and take it over their shoulders. Good catching from the Punjabi Lions continuing.
Yeah, they have been good in the field, has to be said. Being well drilled. They've obviously put all of that coaching and training into practice here when it matters. And I think that's what's put them in this position now. Then it's another left-hander's got to get the line right straight away. And he does. And they've just got to run here. You've just got to chance yourself and think you're going to get there. They decide not to. But that's why you've got to run. Oh, dear. Oh, well, they're going to make it. And they're still going. And, well, he's got to go to the other end. Are they going to get there? And not this time. Well, why not? You've got to keep running. He does get run out in the end, but they do get two from what should have been one. I can't believe the wicketkeepers fumbled that. All of these valuable runs, and if it goes down, can you imagine if this one goes down to the last few